Hey guys, today I want to just talk about something special real quick. And before we do that, I want to go back, like a throwback to about 3 or 5 years ago when we first started developing footpad sensors for like DIY one wheels. And we would just use like copper tape and we would put like copper tape and solder the wires directly on top of the copper tape and then take it down to our vest. And then every year almost, I had a new Stompy coming out, which was at that time the state of the art footpad sensor for the DIY one wheels of the world. And there were probably just like a couple hundred people who would just be like, whoa, wow, this is so technically advanced. That's when I really started designing like PCBs and getting into like stompies and flexible footpads and stuff. And that was like the gold standard for DIY one wheels for a long time. And then as the community grew, a lot of you came in, and now there is like so many companies that are doing those flexible PCBs for DIY one wheels, and it just makes us so happy. But that also meant that it was time for us to move on to something else, and that's what we've done. It's been a work in progress for almost a year, if not more. So these are the brand new front footpad sensors for all Funwheel. So this is gonna fit any XR board, XR platform. It's gonna fit our all our rails, so Thunder rails, our X10 rails, X7 rails. But the most interesting thing that I cannot live without now, so now you can see my battery is at 80%. You can see that there's 8 of lights that are on and 2 in the end that are not off. So it's like 10 LEDs and it's like 80% now. That's the battery percentage. And if you click one of the foot pads, you can see one of those sides go on. If you press both of them together, both of them go on together, right? Once you run it, it's going to show you the duty cycle, and it's going to go really quick because it's going to be free spin. So from green to yellow to red. All right, that was so you saw the LED go from green to yellow to red. And that's really cool if you're riding, like it slowly progresses and shows you what's your duty cycle. And as you kind of approach the red end of the duty cycle, you have to slow down or something. That doesn't happen until you're like 50 kilometers per hour. And it looks even cooler when you actually hide everything else. So we're gonna have like footpad fenders, mini fenders, fender deletes, and then that's gonna look really cool. So to develop these LEDs, there's only one person that I want to give credit to, actually two people. First of all, Kyle, who kind of did all the LED thing from the STM, from the VESC itself. Before that, people were just using ESPs and all that separate circuit, which ran the LEDs. Everything was very, very complicated. But Kyle's research actually allowed us to have everything inside the Thor. So if you look at the Thor today, let me just grab one real quick. And it's got these 3 LED slots, and they're run directly from the STM chip. You don't have to do any programming or anything. Just do the status LED, which is this guy, status LED, front LED, back LED. You're good to go. So Kyle, thank you for pushing us in the right direction. And then most importantly, Mitch. So all this is mostly Mitch's baby, right? He's the genius behind this. So the green, the LED, the duty cycle, and then everybody else in the community who contributed and pitched in the ideas, and that's kind of the beauty of the open source thing. And you can see this is the front light. I put it on RGB and it's just doing its thing, but you can have all different kinds of modes. And if you just look at one of our complete boxes, this is how you will receive it. If you order a CNC box, you can see the LEDs are right here. So you've used this space very wisely, very beautifully. And this is again all Leah's work. You can see her signature here, and then this should be visible through the cutout here. Which reminds me that all of you who've tried our cast boxes and CNC boxes, there's lots and lots of reviews pouring in of all of you saying that you love our the controller, the box, the whole package, the battery pack. Everything is just perfect, very easy to fit together, put together. You basically just take our battery pack, take our controller box, plug it in, plug in the super flux, put your rails together, your foot pads together, bumpers together, and you're basically good to ride. Very, very minimal app config required, which is a step-by-step process too, which is in one of our videos. So I don't want to digress and dive deep into it, but thank you very much for appreciating our hard work. And this is really about the front footpad. So let's just break it down. So first of all, we designed our sensor, and it was very important to design something which is very professional, very, very well tested, because we don't want people ghosting. So if you press something and it is, once you let it go, it keeps pressed on and the board thinks you're still riding, it can be dangerous. It can risk in your board going places where you don't want it to go, falling in the river, hitting a car, whatever. It could be fatal, right? So we had to make sure we did something which is very professional, which is very, very well tested, and we came up with this sensor that covers almost the entire footpad, right? And then we injection molded this beautiful, strong yet light plate, and this is again Leah's work. And then we've got this little slot here where you can drop in your Apple AirTag or something, and it'll just live here in your board. So that way, if you lose your board, somebody steals your board, you can find it easily. So again, great work by Leah on this one. You can see it's got, you can see how shiny it is. You can see how strong it is too. It's barely flexible, just a little bit flexible. And then it's got a very, very smooth and shiny surface all around. I don't know, it speaks for itself, man. And then you see we don't have a brass inserts, we've got stainless steel inserts here, so no cutting corners at all. And then once you put this and this together, you kind of see that we've maximized the area that the sensor covers, so that you don't have anxiety about where you put your foot, if your foot is small or big or whatever. So it just almost covers the entire surface of the footpad. And there's many advantages to that. The third thing that we developed, the grip tape that goes on top of it. So if I get this here, you see it just fits here perfectly on top of the footpad, and everything comes together so nicely. You can see it's so gritty and shiny that it has peeled off part of my nail, like a sandpaper, man. Just so good. Like, you want your feet to be on this. Of course, 3M sticky backing at the back, which is absolutely very, very, very sticky. And then it just cut to the perfect shape, and it's got a 4mm foam, which will make sure you're all cushy and soft on these angled rails and nice concave footpad. And another thing I failed to mention is that these are concave footpads, right? So they're concave not only just 2 ways, they're concave 4 ways. So that makes sure that your foot is really, really well rested on top of these curved rails that we've got. So when you put together 1, 2, and 3 things, you get something like this. And then, ta-da! You got your Fungineer's complete footpad, which is having this little 6-pin pigtail that you can plug into even your XR and it will work. But why would you plug into an XR? Like, this beautiful thing needs to go into our Thunderbox. So the entire goal of our organization is to make DIY easy for you, as easy as possible. And if you've got our Thunderbox or planning to get one, you can just get this one, plug it in here, and just kind of tighten this bayonet connector, and you're good to go. It's not going to go anywhere. And that's it. You've got your nice, you've basically got the whole package. You've got a very nice, sturdy, shiny footpad. You've got stompies or sensors that are very well tested, professionally made, and you've got 4mm thick grip tape. And then you've got this beautiful LED cutout. And oh, by the way, there's a glass insert in there if I can find it. There you go. So you can see there's another mold that we made especially for this one, and this is strong polyurethane, UV resistant, and you can see that it fits in here absolutely perfectly. There you go. So you can see, and you can see at the back it just sits flat and flush. Everything is just perfect. This is flush here as well. These have already been on sale for the last 3 months or so. People have bought it, so those orders will be fulfilled first. I'm expecting we ship them before 30th June, but I've always been optimistic about this date, so I would say 30th June is doable as per the current schedule. We might be delayed by a week or so, but we'll try not to be delayed. And yeah, just order the Stompies, enjoy the Stompies, enjoy your Thor, your Funwheel, and keep riding, keep fungineering. I'll see you next time.